A very lovely hello to all my class 10th board champions. I know your 17th February is so close. Your exam is on 17th February, your maths exam. So my dear, because of that, I have come up with very important video. In this video, I am going to explain every chapter in very short details, means summarize. Okay, I am going to give you summary from real numbers to probability, and one very important thing, apart from summary, apart from theoretical portion, I am going to give you some important most repeated questions also. So make sure to solve these questions before sitting in examination hall. So let's begin, my dear. So the first is real number. If I talk about real number, so in real number the most important theory is HCF and LCM. Please make sure to find out HCF and LCM by prime factorization method, and this formula, the product of HCF and LCM of any two integer is equal to the product of themselves. So this formula is very important, and to prove root 5, root 3 and root 7 is irrational number. So proof of irrationality is very important. Proof of irrationality is also very important. Please make sure to solve these questions. Okay, proof of irrationality, and there are 3 questions for you all. Very important question. Moving to next chapter, polynomials. If I talk about polynomials, so in polynomials, quadratic polynomial is very important. Quadratic polynomial, my dear, very important. If I talk about quadratic polynomial, so the general form is ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0. This is the quadratic polynomial, right? If alpha and beta are the two zeros of this quadratic polynomial, so you all know sum of zeros is minus coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x square. So the relationship between coefficient and zeros is very important, and the product of roots, product of zeros is constant term divided by coefficient of x square. Means this is minus b by a, right, and this is c by a. So these two formulas are very important, and 3 questions for you all, very powerful questions. Go and practice these questions. Moving to next chapter, chapter number 3, pair of linear equations in 2 variable. So my dear, linear equation in 2 variable, pair of linear equation in 2 variable comes in this format, right? a1x plus b1y plus c1 equals to 0, a2x plus b2y plus c2 equals to 0. So particularly in this chapter, you might get word problem questions and the coefficient comparison. If a1, a2 is not equal to b1 by b2, you all know unique solutions will be there. Exactly one solution will be there, and on graph intersecting line will be there. I hope you know this. So please go, and particularly in this chapter, revise this portion. If a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 and again equal to c1 by c2, so this situation comes when infinite many solution comes up. Infinite many solutions means the value of x and y will be infinite. On graph, this will be coinciding line. Coinciding line. I hope you know this. On graph, coinciding line will be there. Okay. Now, if I talk about a1 upon a2 is equal to b1 by b2 but not equal to c1 by c2. If this situation rises up, it means that no solution will be there, and on graph parallel line will be there. So in this chapter, this is very important. Comparison of coefficient of the linear equations in 2 variable, and 3 questions for you all. Come on, go and practice these questions for you. Okay, now moving to chapter number 4, quadratic equation. So in quadratic equation, my dear, yes, alpha and beta, if alpha and beta are the roots of this quadratic equation, ax square plus bx equals to 0, any quadratic equation, so the sum of roots is equal to minus b by a, and the product of roots equal to c by a. This formula plays very important role, and solving the roots also. Solving the roots. And you all know solving the roots, we are having 3 methods. By factorization method, which is called middle term splitting method, by quadratic formula, and by completing square method. But completing square method is not in syllabus. So you can use by middle term splitting method, okay, and the second method is by quadratic formula, very magical formula, you all know formula, quadratic formula, minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4c by 2a, right? And nature of roots also plays important role. Nature of roots also plays important role. Please go, you know, if d is equals to 0, real and equal roots will be there. If d is greater than 0, you know, two distinct roots will be there, right? And if d is less than 0, no real roots will be there. You all know this, so this is very important. And 3 questions for you all, my dear. 1, 2, 3, 4 questions. Moving to next chapter, arithmetic progression. So in arithmetic progression, the formula of nth term, this formula is very powerful to find out any term and the sum of n terms of an AP. Sn equals to n by 2, Sn equals to n by 2 under bracket 2a plus n minus 1 into d, and one more formula for Sn is Sn equals to n by 2 a plus an, or we can also write this as L in this formula. So this is very important. Okay, so 3 formulas are there, they plays important role, and your practice also. So go and practice these questions. Okay, powerful questions for you. Moving to next chapter, chapter number 3. So in chapter number 6, triangles, especially BPT theorem is very important. There is no any formula here, only theorem is there. So you know BPT says that if in any triangle ABC, if we draw a line PQ and the PQ is parallel to BC, the line joining PQ is parallel to BC, so this PQ intersects the 2 lines in same corresponding ratio. So AP divided by PB is equal to AQ divided by QC, right? This is called by BPT. And if you prove this before, if you prove first, then by converse you can also say that PQ is parallel to BC. So converse of BPT also important. Converse of BPT is also important. And here 2 questions for you all only. 3 questions. 1, 2, 3 questions. Moving to next chapter, coordinate geometry. So my dear, in coordinate geometry, first distance formula is there. Distance formula is important. And you all know distance formula. Distance formula is what, my dear? The distance between 2 coordinates. Okay, the distance formula is the distance between 2 coordinates. Like the first coordinate A is x1 y1 and the second coordinate B is x2 y2. So the line joining AB can be calculated by using AB under root x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square, this formula. So this is the first formula, and the second formula is section formula. Section formula is very important. Section formula. What is this formula? Like there are 2 points. The point A is x1 y1, right, and the point B is x2 y2, right, and a third point comes here. Third point comes P, and it divide the line joining AB in the ratio of m1 ratio m2. The ratio will be given to you, and these 2 terminal coordinates will be given to you. So we can find out x also. So by using formula m1 into x2, m1 x2, m2 x1 divided by m1 plus m2, and similarly y can be calculated as m1 y2 plus m2 y1 divided by m1 plus m2. So this is called section formula, my dear. Very important formula. And 3 questions for you all. 1, 2, 3 questions. Moving to next chapter number 8, introduction to trigonometry. So my dear, in introduction to trigonometry, P, B, P, H, HB plays very important role, right? If I talk about sine theta, so sine theta is the ratio of P by H, perpendicular by hypotenuse. If I talk about cos theta is B by H. Similarly, this is cos, this is tan. Similarly, cos will be H by P, sec will be H by B, and the cot will be B by P. And 3 identities, sine square theta plus cos square theta equals to 1 plus tan square theta equals to sec square theta, 1 plus cot square theta equals to cosec square theta. These 3 identities are very powerful, and the trigonometric values. You have a table there in your book. Table, sine, cos, 0 degree, 30 degree, 40 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree. 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree, and 90 degree. And you all know the values. So revise these keep these formula in your mind, you guys can solve the question easily. So there are 4 questions for you. 1, 2, 3, 4 questions for you all. Okay, now chapter number 9, some applications of trigonometry. So my dear, in some applications of trigonometry, first let me tell you, 10 values plays very important role. 10 30 is 1 by root 3. Similarly, 10 45 degree, 10 45 degree is 1, 10 45 degree, 45 degree is 1, and 10 60 degree is root 3. So go and please memorize, keep these values in your mind if you are doing the question of some application of trigonometry. So these 3 values plays very important role. Now see, in this chapter the most important thing is making the diagram. After reading the question, the drawing the diagram plays important role. And the angle of elevation, you all know, if this is the height, H building, and a kid is playing football here. So if this observer is at the top of this building and he is just observing the ball, this line of sight is there, so this is called angle of elevation, right? This angle, this theta, is called angle of elevation. But if the same situation I take here, like H height of building is there, ball is here, and this observer first looking in straight in the horizontal direction, this is line of sight, and the second line of sight is this. So this angle is called, the angle is in air, this angle is called angle of depression, my dear. But the best thing is, directly and indirectly, the angle of depression will be here also, because this line and this line is parallel. So by alternate angle, this will be angle of depression, my dear. So this is important thing. Question number 1 and 2, 2 questions for you all in this chapter. Moving to chapter number 9, circle. So in circle only theorems are there. So the most important theorem, the first theorem is, when we draw 2 tangents to a circle from any exterior point P, and this is, let's say, A, and this is B, my dear. So A and B called point of contacts. So when we draw 2 tangents from any exterior point to the circle, so these tangents always equal to each other, means PA will be equal to PB always. This is the theorem, my dear. First theorem, very powerful theorem. The tangents drawn from any exterior point is always equal. The second theorem, I personally suggest you all, if we draw a tangent, my dear, and if you join the radius at the point of contact, if you draw the radius to the point of contact, this angle is always 90 degree. Means there is a tangent, my dear, this is the tangent, this is point of contact, and if you draw the radius here, this angle will be 90 degree. Let's say this is tangent here, and if you join the radius here, my dear, this angle will be 90 degree. So this is very important, my dear. The first theorem, tangents are always equal, and the second theorem, the radius drawn at the point of contact always perpendicular to the tangent. And on the basis of these 2 information, 3 questions for you all. So go and practice these questions. This is very important. I have brought up this question after doing so much of research and analysis. Okay, so go and solve this question. Chapter number 11, area related to circle. So my dear, in area related to circle, 2 formulas are very important. Area of sector, you know, if there is a circle and an arc is making theta angle here at the center of radius r, so sector, this is called minor sector, my dear. This is called minor sector, right? And this one, the complete, this one is called major sector. So area of minor sector, is calculated by using this formula, theta by 360. Theta is here at center, theta is by 360, pi r square. And similarly, if you want to find out the length of this arc, minor arc, so length of minor arc we can calculate by using this formula, theta by 360 into 2 pi r. Now these 2 formulas are very important, and in some question you might get this condition also, like there is a circle and the angle at the center is 60 degree, my dear. So if the angle at the center is 60 degree and this radius is also equal to this radius, and if you join this, so this angle will also be 60 degree. It has to be 60 degree, so the triangle will become equilateral triangle. And we know the area of equilateral triangle AOB, the area of triangle AOB, equilateral triangle is there. So we can write the area root 3 by 4 a square, right? So by using that, we can find out the area of this segment also. This is called segment, my dear, minor segment, and the complete, the area which is excluding minor segment, the remaining area will be major segment. So to find out the minor segment, we always subtract the area of this circle from the area of sector, my dear. So 3 questions I have brought up here for you only. Sorry, 2 questions are there, and this is the here This is shaded region. I think shaded region is not visible to you guys. So this is the shaded region. You have to find out this area here. Okay. Now moving to chapter number 12, surface area and volume. So in surface area and volume, my dear, the most important thing is area of remaining solid. Area of remaining solid. You know, when this statement comes up, when we scooped any portion from a solid structure, so what will be the area of remaining solid? So let me give you a very good example. Let's say there is a cube, and from this cube, my dear, this is a cube, my dear, from this cube we have scooped out a hemisphere. This is the hemisphere we have scooped out. So what will be the total surface area of remaining solid, right? So this hemisphere is scooped out. So after scooping the hemisphere, there will be a cavity of hemisphere, which will be the newly exposed area. But from the cube surface, we have removed a circle. So circle is removed from the cube, but the newly exposed area will become hemispherical curved surface area. So area of remaining solid, how we calculate? Listen, my dear, total surface area of cube, but from total surface area of cube, this circle is removed out. So minus area of circular top of hemisphere. This will be subtracted. Why this will be subtracted? Because that circle is removed from the cube. But after removing the circle, the newly exposed area will be curved surface area of hemisphere. So that will be added. So plus CSA of hemisphere. This is the logic, my dear. This is the logic how we calculate area of remaining solid. Total surface area of cube minus area of hemisphere. See, my dear, the newly exposed area is what? The newly exposed area is this. This is the newly exposed area, the curved surface area. Newly exposed area to the environment, right? And the circle is removed. The removed part is red color, this circle. This circle is removed. Circle is removed. So the removed part will be subtracted and the newly exposed area will be added. This is all about. 2 questions for you all. Moving to next chapter, chapter number 13, statistics. So if I tell you one thing personally, my dear, so in statistics, mode is very important. L plus, you know, there is a formula, F1 minus F0 upon 2F1 minus F0 minus F2 into H. Please follow this. The formula of mode and the formula of median. L plus N by 2 minus CF divided by F into H. The formula for median. This formula and the empirical relation between mean, mode and median. And there is a very quality formula. Mode is equals to 3 median minus 2 mean. This formula we use to get the mean, mode, median relation. If you know the mean, if you know median, you can find out mode. If you know mode, if you know median, you can find out mean. So this is very important formula. So assertion region based question and one more question. So this is very important formula. In statistics, mode and median. You most probably there will be huge chances to get the question based on mode and median. Moving to next chapter number 13, probability. 13, sorry, this is 13, so this is 14, my dear. Probability, my dear, probability. So in probability, you know, probability of any event is equal to number of favorable outcomes, right, divided by total number of outcomes. This is called probability, total number of outcomes. This formula will play the important role. This formula, yeah. So probability of happening the event plus probability of not happening the same event is always equal to 1. So probability of event plus probability of not event is equal to 1. So in probability, you know, there are so many concepts. 3 tossed coin simultaneously. Please prepare this topic simultaneously when we toss 3 coins simultaneously, right? And the second is playing cards playing cards concept, right? When we take a well shuffled deck of 52 cards, club, spade, diamond and heart. And third is, my dear, when two dices are thrown simultaneously. You know dice? When we play Ludo game, so there is a dice of cubical shape having numbers marked on that, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So when two dices are thrown simultaneously, so these three topics are very important. Go and prepare this, and I have brought up 3 questions for you all. So this is all about summarize. I have given you the short summary of the chapters, right, along with most important questions for you all. Okay, and so go and practice these questions. That will definitely boost up your confidence. Thank you so much for watching the video. Stay blessed, stay sparkling.